Good morning, actually. Well, it might be going on this afternoon, but now because at Joyce Tiny here. I've tried to make this video. This is the third time I've tried to make it, so here goes again. Well, I'm not much of a speaker. Now, give me a really well rehearsed song, and I'll sing it and entertain you. But this is a little bit um, different. I'm not a speaker. Never was. Probably never will be. I don't know. Of course, you can never say never. All things are possible. So, but there's been some things really bothered me for a while now. I started way back in 2007, got myself on Facebook. Boy, I just thought it was just so wonderful. I was going to college at the time. I was 62. I just thought it was the greatest thing since canned spaghetti. And then here just not a few years ago I started watching YouTube, and that was on TV. I had Roku. You can get free stuff on Roku, and you don't have to pay cable. So since I've been trying to figure out what to do with my life, I started watching a lot of different subjects and things on YouTube. And there's a lot of political things going on there, and um, a lot of YouTube creators that um, they use it as making a living, and they spew out this propaganda and that propaganda, disinformation here and disinformation there. A lot of it's real information, um, but they make a negative aspect out of it. But I've been observing all of this and watching the people, and it has come to my attention that the majority of people out there across the world, it's not just here in the United States, they they want disaster and fear and hatred in their life. And uh, quite frankly, I'm sick of it. I'm probably going to rant a little bit here, and I hope I can keep it civil, which I'm learning through the years. I mean, I've had 80 years to learn. So, but they get on there and they say the god awfulest things about people. Cut sick people down in the government. People that are in the government that are sick, and cut them down, and people that are happy all the time and cut them down, and it's just, I mean, I try not to get angry over it, but I've been going in and commenting and letting people know, look, what you put out there to everybody else with your words will come back on you. And so that's the extent to where I've gotten. But it's like all you hear is people talking about, well, they're gonna take our freedom of speech away, and they're gonna this and they're gonna that. We're not gonna be free anymore. Well, you cause that. People cause that themselves, that they're not free anymore, because they tie their brain up with such a horrible mindset about hatred and woe is me and bad things are going to happen. Well, yes, whatever you put out there into the universe towards other people, because we're all connected. And the very first law of the universe is the law one, that we're all connected. Now, that's hard to get across to people just in a little comment because, first of all, they're already so full of hate and they just can't wait to get on there. Their ego can't wait to get on there and, oh, I don't love the way she laughs. That's all she does is laugh, cackle, Miss Cackle, um, um, sleepy, sleepy, Sleepy Joe. That's all they talk about. That hurt them people with their words, and so it's hard to um, break through that anger and that fear that they've got going on there, because they sit there for days and stew and stew and stew. Uh, people don't. Most people don't want to see other people happy. Oh, they say they do, but not in reality. They don't. Way back when I was in my 40s and I lived in Arizona, and I had to get up at break of dawn every morning. I worked at a daycare, and I had to take a bus to get there. Well, I was happy every morning. I'm in cheerful and happy, and I'd get on the bus and I'd just be laughing and talking to the people that I started to know on the bus. And this one particular day, this guy just out of nowhere just started heckling me and saying, your problem is you just aren't getting any. Well, we all know what he meant by that. I said, you know what? You're just unhappy. That's what your problem is. So, but that was just, he couldn't stand to see me happy that early in the morning. I just, I do understand now, after watching people and the things I've learned, that the more you sit and focus on something, whether it be good or bad, you can bring that into your life. And the more you sit and judge and throw judgment at somebody else and heckle them and cut them down, that's going to be like a boomerang and come right back into your life again and work in ways that um, it's going to be hellish for you. Or it could be heaven on earth for you. Whatever words you're putting out there and how you're treating people. So, with learning that, knowing, I mean, people have got this mentality that the angel on this shoulder and the devil on this shoulder, but in reality, the devil over here is your ego, and the angel over here is the creator in you. So you let your ego get the better half of you, and it wants to be right at all costs. I'm right, so I'm going to say. Now, I used to be that way too, which I'm almost completely away from it. I mean, I've still got some issues yet, but um, that don't stop me from explaining it, that that's what's going on in the world. We wonder why the world is in such chaos. Well, it's because of the lack of love, which produces fear. Fear then produces you to sit down and think and think and think, which we have a powerful imagination. We as humans were blessed from the Creator, wherever the Creator is to you, put in us an imagination that we can imagine. That's our power, and our words, and our thoughts, and our feelings. That's what produces what comes back into our life. And when we mistreat others, then we get bad stuff. If we're good to others, good to ourselves, then good things come into our life. So after you sit down and you've listened to all these people, all the things that they're putting on YouTube and all the hatred, and It's the news media. It happens in the government too. It happens in the healthcare system. It happens everywhere. That people pick up and they start thinking about it, and they stir up an opinion, which is basically it's just a higher grade of judgment. That's all it is. It's okay to judge somebody because it's my right to have an opinion. Well, no, because opinions expressed openly will only bring disaster right back into your life in one form or another. Now, when you judge somebody with badness, most generally judgment is bad. Now you can say you can have an opinion over this, whether this program will work or this program will work, or building this building this way will work or building it this way won't work. You can have those kind of opinions, but when you start having opinions about people, then it's actually just judgment. That's all. And what other people think about me is none of my business. And it's not my business to delve into other people's business. The only thing that we're required to do is love ourselves and love other people. Loving ourselves is the God in us that we're loving. So I I just wish that I could get through to people, and there's many people out there that do love other people, and wouldn't harm a hair on their head, wouldn't speak an unkind word to them, and they've always been that way because they were raised that way, and and people say, well, this country was built on the Word of God. Well, what is the Word of God? Well, I've got two expressions. The Word of God is which is the Creator of all, is to love the Creator first and foremost, which lives in you, and love your neighbor as yourself. There's only two things we have to follow. Because if you do that, you won't talk bad about people. You won't have no fear in yourself. You won't want what somebody else has, and you won't steal off of them. You won't say bad things about them, because if you are, you're saying bad things about yourself. Because those words will come bounce right back to you and bring in either good back to you or bad back to you. Now, we don't always know what that'll be for you, because what's bad for one person won't necessarily be bad for another. So maybe you'll lose your job because you talked bad about somebody or did harm to somebody else. Or you could lose your health. It just goes on and on and on. But if you're good to other people and you help other people, you don't talk bad about other people, don't talk bad about nature, and we won't. This is not for that concept, but good will come to you. You might get the most amazing job in the world and you never want to leave it. You'll start learning how to save your money if you were never taught how to do it. It's just amazing when you treat other people good. The golden rule: treat somebody like you'd want to be treated, then good things will come to you. But if you're always spewing hate towards others and you've always got hate on you and you're sitting around worrying because you're fearful, you're going to bring bad things right on you because that's the way the universe is designed. So don't 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 allow them to take our free speech away by misusing it. And don't 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 cut people down. Love people. We're not always going to agree because there's not just two sides. There's just not two perspectives that are being divided. There's 8 billion people on this planet that each one sees things in a different way. Learn to appreciate somebody else's opinion and understand where they're coming from it. If somebody was raised in um, a dysfunctional home and they feel this way about something, um, don't let it corrupt what you say to them. Just love them. That's all. Until everybody learns. This world is not going to fix itself with hatred running through it and cutting other people down. The only way this world is going to get fixed is if, as a collective, we all learn to love from our heart, genuine love, and get rid of the fear, get rid of the worry, get rid of the hate. That's the only way this world's going to get fixed. That's the only way all the children are going to grow up into a world full of peace and harmony and love. And I'll leave you with this. Henry Ford said this. So, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. So if you think you can't learn to love somebody else, then you'll never learn to love somebody else. If you think you can, well, then you will. Try harder. You have a great day. Talk to you later.